back. Well, we're joined now by Madhu Kela, the founder of MK Ventures. We've also been joined by the CEO of Barista, Rajat Agarwal. Thank you both very much for being with us. Mr. Kela, let me come to you first. What in your mind is the big highlight or the focus of this budget? Because it seems to have a little bit for everyone. But would you say that it's the capex which is is the highlight in terms of what the government is trying to achieve, the direction it's trying to go towards?
I think the highlight actually, Vishnu, is taking the India agenda forward, essentially for giving a budget which actually pleased various sections of the economy, including the stock market. That, not tinkering with the capital gains tax actually was a big highlight as far as I am concerned, because all of us were really concerned that they may do something out there. But, sticking to the fiscal path and guiding for more fiscal consolidation, the capital expenditure number of over 10 lakh crore rupees, the tax rationalization, the GDP growth, and most importantly, which I look for in every budget, is the credible numbers. So, you can't fault the finance minister of taking any aggressive assumption to reach to 5.9% of fiscal deficit. So I would say, all in all, she actually delivered on every count, I would say more than what the market was actually looking at.
Mr. Kela, just a couple of points. Number one, the insurance payout above 5 lakhs, which will now be taxed. And number two, capital gains tax, which has been capped to in residential properties to 10 crores. Is that a bit of a reality check? Is that something which perhaps wouldn't be as welcome?
The budget, Vishnu, is an exercise where you have to balance the income with the expenses, which we do in all our households. So if you give to someone, you will have to take it from someone, right? The money and keeping that in mind that you have limited scope for government borrowing and you have limited scope and maneuverability for fiscal discipline. So I am sure they had to take it from somewhere. And this is actually, if you say 10 crores, it hurts someone like me, because if I have to buy a new house, I will have to end up paying capital gains on the earlier house, and then I can buy a new house. It hurts. But at the end of the day, it is a balancing act. And I don't think it hurts majority of the population, or it hurts the stock market in a big manner. Okay.
Rajat Agarwal, CEO of Barista, what exactly is in it for your group? What are your big takeaways?
Thanks, Vishnu, for having me on the panel. I think Madhu has explained it really well. One thing which I would like to say is that it's a very inclusive budget, where the government has really driven the agenda on infrastructure, technology, and looking at creating a budget which talks about the India story about 10 years from now. I think that's what the broad agenda the government has tried to bring around. There has not been any direct benefit, I would say, in terms of any direct SOP which kind of helps the industry as a whole. Retail is any which way a significant industry, almost about 43 million employment in India. But there has been no direct recall. However, if I were to take an optimistic view from a retail perspective, one thing which I think most of us also are happy about is a bit of more cash flow which is coming to us basis a certain level of tax planning which has been done. And if I were to see a positive side of it, I would see that there would be incremental opportunity on cash flows in hand, which would eventually benefit retail industry as a whole.
Sure.
Because retail industry is always something which is in the second level in terms of spend. And if you have an incremental cash flow, I'm sure that it will benefit the industry as a whole.
All right. Well, I need to take a short break. Thanks very much, both of you, for being with us.